When I first saw the date on that post, honestly, something about it immediately felt off. Look at this, an old tweet. Well, Twitter back then, before it became X. The account is called I Am a Soothsayer, date June 11th, 2022. And the tweet is literally just one short sentence. 2023, Corona ended. 2026, Hantavirus. Look at the date again. And the creepiest part isn't even the text itself. It's the fact that the post is real. Not some fake Telegram screenshot, not Photoshop, not edited dates. The post genuinely existed online this entire time. Although, to be fair, that's not even what caught my attention the most. What really got me was the context surrounding all of this. And this is where things start getting seriously weird. Let's rewind all the way back to 2012. Canadian microbiologist Jason Tetro posted something after attending a scientific conference. It went something like this. I accidentally overheard a conversation behind me. You want to really make a pandemic? Make hantavirus human transmissible. At the time, it probably sounded like nothing more than dark scientific speculation. Scientists throw around hypothetical scenarios all the time. But remember one important thing. Regular hantavirus almost never spreads from person to person, except for one strain, the Andes strain. It's the only known version of hantavirus capable of human-to-human transmission. And that's the exact strain now connected to the entire cruise ship situation. But alright, let's not go full panic mode immediately. If you look at the actual facts, the chances of this becoming some massive global pandemic are still pretty low. Although, I can't lie, the situation definitely feels unsettling. So anyway, I stumbled across this site called Hantavirus Map Live. I'll leave the link in the description so you can check it out yourselves. But before that, there's another weird thing. December 2024, Australia, a government laboratory. News reports briefly mention that hundreds of dangerous virus samples disappeared due to inventory tracking failures and freezer malfunctions. And among the missing samples, hantavirus. What's even stranger is how quickly the story disappeared from public attention. No huge media storm, no massive investigations. Now just put the whole timeline together. We left off with all these facts lining up perfectly. 2012, 2022, 2024, and now 2026. I'm not saying this proves anything, seriously, but the entire sequence of events feels almost too clean. But before we head back to that floating quarantine hell, we need to take a step back. You're probably sitting there thinking, what the hell even is a hantavirus? Just another flu? No, it's not the flu. And to understand why this specific virus showing up on a cruise ship is the absolute worst case scenario, you need to know how we even met it in the first place. Let's rewind even further. 1951, the middle of the Korean War. About 3,000 UN soldiers suddenly drop with a severe fever. Their kidneys shut down. Internal bleeding starts. People are burning out in a matter of days. Military commanders are panicking. They are absolutely certain the enemy just dropped a new biological weapon, some secret tech. And you know how long it took to find this invisible killer? 25 years. It wasn't until 1976 that South Korean scientist Ho Wang Lee found the culprit. Guess where? In a field mouse caught near the small Hantan River, hence the name, hantavirus. But the story doesn't end there, because the virus evolves. Fast forward to 1993, the United States, the Four Corners region in New Mexico. A young, completely healthy 19-year-old guy, a star cross-country runner with perfect lungs, suddenly starts gasping for air. He feels like a concrete block was dropped on his chest. He heads to the hospital and dies right on the way. Doctors are terrified. A few days later, his girlfriend dies from the exact same symptoms. Then more people. What the hell is going on? Local medics think the bubonic plague is back. Seriously, They were genuinely prepping for a medieval epidemic. Enter the CDC, the world's top virus hunters. They roll in wearing full hazmat suits, sweep the area, and find a familiar trace again: deer mice. The virus had reached America, but it changed. Scientists were so freaked out, they named this new strain Sin Nombre, Spanish for virus without a name. Sounds like a comic book villain, right? And here's where it gets really terrifying. How does it kill? It doesn't smash through your cells like a battering ram. It's way sneakier. When it gets into your lungs through the dust from mouse droppings, yeah, disgusting, I know, but it's a fact. The virus tricks your immune system. Your own immunity completely loses its mind. It's called a cytokine storm. Imagine you find a spider in your living room, and to kill it, you call in an orbital airstrike on your own house. Your body does the exact same thing. It attacks itself. The blood vessels in your lungs turn into a leaky garden hose. Blood plasma seeps into your lungs. A person literally drowns in their own fluids, drowning while on dry land. The mortality rate for the Sin Nombre strain hit 50%, half of the infected. That's playing Russian roulette with 3 bullets in the chamber. But this killer had one massive downside, or rather, a massive upside for all of humanity. It didn't spread from person to person. The runner from New Mexico didn't infect his girlfriend directly. They just cleaned out an old shed full of mouse poop together. Hantavirus was a biological dead end. You caught it from a mouse. You lived or died, but the chain stopped with you. Alright, take a deep breath. Exhale. Seriously, congratulations, you've made it to the halfway point of this video. If you instinctively backed away from the screen just now and went to wash your hands, I don't blame you, but don't relax yet. The most important part is still ahead. We're going back to 2026, back to the cruise ship. So, we already know the Andes strain is the only mutant capable of human-to-human transmission. This isn't some dark theory from a Canadian microbiologist in 2012. It's a medical fact. And here it is, on a luxury ship in the middle of the ocean, locked in with thousands of passengers. How did it get there? You think it's the work of spies? The same guys who conveniently lost those vials in an Australian lab at the end of 2024? Bioterrorists dropping an ampule into the vents? I promised not to hide anything, and I'll let you decide for yourself whether this is someone's genius plan or just terrifying reality. Because the mechanism of infection might be horribly banal, and that just makes it scarier. In nature, the Andes strain is carried by long-tailed pygmy rice rats that live in South America. Guess where this luxury cruise ship made a stop right before this whole nightmare started? Exactly, a port in Chile. Picture this, a couple of infected rats quietly sneak into the food hold. A shiploader, let's call him Juan, goes down to get fresh supplies. He shifts some heavy boxes in the dark and accidentally inhales that invisible dust from dried rat droppings. The viral mine is triggered. And then Juan goes back to the cramped, poorly ventilated corridors of the lower deck with the rest of the crew. He coughs. Once, twice. And because this is that one unique Andes strain, the virus happily jumps over to his co-workers. The chain reaction is launched. The perfect incubator, a sealed metal city on the water with a central ventilation system, starts doing its job. And here we are, looking at a picture that makes your blood run cold. A weird prediction tweet from 2022 came true with terrifying accuracy. The deadly Australian samples lost in 2024 are still nowhere to be found. And right now, real people are locked inside a floating quarantine bomb with a virus that scientists in 2012 called the perfect biological weapon. What is this? The greatest storm of coincidences in human history? Or a carefully assembled puzzle where every piece fired right on a timer? I don't know. And honestly, I doubt anyone knows for sure. We'll leave that question open. But if you think about it, this whole story exposes something far more fundamental. We are maniacally obsessed with finding villains. We love believing the world is run by a shadow government, secret lodges, or genius madmen with test tubes in underground bunkers. We latch onto any coincidence and conspiracy theory. Why? Because the alternative terrifies us to the core. The alternative is that our highly technological, ultra-safe world with neural networks and Mars missions is incredibly fragile. It's so vulnerable that a global catastrophe might not start with the push of a red nuclear button. It might start simply because a Chilean rat went to the bathroom in the wrong place and a tired loader didn't wear a protective mask in time. We are just fragile biological shells thrashing around in a massive, completely chaotic ocean of other species. Nature is the most ruthless scriptwriter, and she doesn't need secret labs to bring humanity to its knees. She just needs a little time. So don't waste your nerves on internet prophecies. It's much more important to understand how the invisible reality around us works every single day. Learn to see this world for what it is: dangerous, unpredictable, but insanely interesting. And as always, level up your brain.